Hey guys, it's Monday and we start another week. And I'm going to start off the week with an editorial for you out of Atlanta, Georgia. Now this one is going to make some of you really upset, and it's just perpetual, I think. I don't think we're ever going to get this to stop. I think it's just perpetual motion that police officers are just going to continue to do wrong. And I understand that they're human and they make errors and people do bad, but it's just that's not an occupation or a job where you could just have a bad day. They need better trained, I believe, but it's just perpetual, it seems. What am I talking about? Well, let's see. Let's jump right into it. Thank you very much out of Atlanta, Georgia. Before we get to that, I will put a link to this story in the description box below. It does contain a video in it that you can go and watch the whole thing and see what happened. Thank you to NBC News for bringing it to us. Authorities in Georgia ruled on Sunday that the fatal police shooting of Rayshard Brooks outside an Atlanta Wendy's was a homicide. Brooks, 27, died after he was shot twice in the back on Friday, the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office said in a statement. Brooks was shot after a confrontation with two Atlanta police officers in the parking lot. The police have been summoned there on a report of a man sleeping in his car in the drive-thru. Brooks struggled with the officers after they administered a field sobriety test and tried to take him into custody. Surveillance video appears to show Brooks running away from the officers with a stun gun that he'd taken from one of them, said Vic Reynolds, director of the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. While running, Brooks appeared to turn around and point the weapon at the police, Reynolds said. He says, quote, at that point, the Atlanta officer reaches down and retrieves his weapon from his holster, discharges it, strikes Mr. Brooks there in the parking lot, and he goes down. Chris Stewart, an attorney for Brooks' family, said Brooks shouldn't have faced deadly force because he appeared to have a stun gun. Stewart and law partner Justin Miller made a statement saying, of extreme concern in the murder of Rayshard Brooks is the fact that he was shot in the back multiple times while fleeing. Atlanta Police Chief Erica Shields resigned over the shooting, saying in a statement that it is time for the city to move forward and build trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Garrett Rolfe, the officer who shot Brooks, was fired. A second officer, Devin Brosnan, was placed on administrative duty. The shooting prompted protests Saturday night near the Wendy's, which was set on fire. And so Rayshard Brooks' death comes amid protests that have been going on for the last 3 weeks across the nation over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. So it's just that's what I was saying earlier. It's just perpetual. It just keeps going. They did, like it said in the story, burn the Wendy's. They set it on fire.
The Wendy's now, the fire has broken through the roof of that building. You see the blaze there. We talked to an Atlanta fire sergeant a while ago who told us that because of the safety of the firefighters that they were having trouble getting close to the building. And so now we've seen the fire move from the drive-through window in the dining area and now has broken through the roof.
And we're protesting the police shooting. That was just this last weekend. You know, a couple things here. He was shot in the back because he had a stun gun, or a taser as they call it sometimes, that he'd taken from one of the officers.
Right. Just take me home. I'm ready to go.
So you had about 1.5 drinks, but you don't remember what kind of drinks they were?
No, sir.
All right.
I really don't, Mr. All
right. I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands behind your back for me. Here, put your hands behind your back. Hey, stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! Stop fighting! You're gonna get tased! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
Mr. Ross!
Stop!
Come on, man.
Stop! You're gonna get tased!
Mr. Ross!
Hey, hands off the fucking taser! Hands off the taser! Stop fighting! Hands off the taser! Stop fighting! Got my fucking taser! Oh, 63.
Shot in the back trying to get away, even though he turned with it. Once he shoots it, the barbs are out. You know, he had two police officers he's got to choose from. Which one do I shoot with a stun gun? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'm going to shoot that cop named Joe. No, Devin Devin Brosnan and Garrett Rolfe. You know, they had 2 police officers, so they could have used pepper spray. The other officer, if he had a stun gun, could have used it, but at least pepper spray. I mean, every one of them carry pepper spray. I don't think I've ever seen a cop not have it. But to pull your gun and fire bullets into the man's back because he has a taser on him that he took off you is excessive use of force. So the officers did not use like force. They went above. And they used force that was excessive and not necessary. I'm going to get a lot of pros and cons on this. I'm going to get people that go, oh, no, hold on, man, not so fast. The other thing I want to point out is that Police Chief Erica Shields resigned over the shooting, but her statement that she was quoted as saying, I know that people aren't always quoted directly in the media, but it does say that she made a statement, it's time for the city to move forward and build trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Was she speaking about herself? Was this kind of a self-projection, like I need to go, they don't trust me as police chief no more? So Erica Shields from Atlanta is gone. I say it's about time. I'm tired of seeing editorials that I've done or seeing her in the news trying to justify bad cop behavior and say, well, you know, look, we're trying the best we can. No, you're not. You need to retrain these cops. Rayshard Brooks should have never been shot in the back over a stun gun, over sleeping in his car because it's DUI. Although I have zero tolerance for DUI, this was excessive in my humble opinion. I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, link to this story in the description box. Community Leo Watch, watching Leos. That's law enforcement officers from coast to coast. I'm still thinking about this police chief and how she just resigned over the shooting. I guess enough is enough for her. She's just not doing her job, so it's time for her to go. What do you all think on this Monday?